want to welcome you to Longer with Age. This is a warm-up stretch routine that I recommend you do prior to each one of these workouts, whether it's week 1, day 1, day 2, week 2, day 1, day 2, all the way to week 4. Doesn't matter. You need to take a little bit of time to warm up and stretch. And I say them in that order because it's a specific thing. What are we trying to do? We've got to warm up so we can stretch. Now, there are 3 T's in stretching. What are they? Well, temperature. You've got to warm up your muscles so that they'll stretch. What's after that? Tension. You've got to stretch with a certain amount of tension. We'll talk about that a little bit, as well as time. 2-second stretches, although they're better than nothing, are not as good as 25 and 30-second stretches. And so let's get into a little bit. What did I say? We've got to warm up our muscles. And let's talk about something we can do to sort of get the engine running. If you'll take your golf club, I hope you have some sort of short iron that you can put across your shoulders. And we're going to lean into a golf posture. What does that mean? Well, we don't bow here. We just kind of lean over a little bit from the hip sockets with very little knee bend. We don't get down to the ball with a lot of knee flex. We tilt. And what we're going to do from that position is warm up with a few backswings. What does that mean? Well, we're going to take this golf club and turn until it points at a spot that is directly in front of us 5 or 6 feet. And when you do that, you know you've done something that represents what a backswing is. At the same time, we are stretching ourselves out. There's 1. Let's do 6 of them. 2, we're warming up. Go a little bit gradually, more quickly as you go. 3, 4, good. Turn in place, 50-50. Now left. 5, good. And 6, wonderful. We're starting to warm ourselves up a little bit. Let's take this right hand. And let's just do a little salt and pepper shaker on the right. 8, 7, 6, 5. Working our shoulder a little bit. 3, just warm it up. 2, 1. And the other side. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, good. 3, 2, and 1. Let's put it behind us. We're going to take this. Our palms are away. Feet double shoulder width apart. Lower back flat. Chin up off the sternum. And clock the arms to noon. Now keep in mind that you only go as far as you can go. We're trying to stretch our hamstrings. Try to keep your toes up off the floor if you can. And the legs straight. Get those arms high. Warming up everything. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's go knee to opposite hand for an 8 count. 8, 7, really reach. 6, 5, we're just warming up. Let's try to bring the knee up higher than we're going to meet somewhere in the middle, but make the knee make most of the journey. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Other side, here we go. 8, 7, see if you can do it without needing to balance. 6, 5, if you need the club, 4, put her there. 3, it doesn't matter. 2, we're going to work toward not having to use it. 1. All right, one more thing for the tricep. We're going to hook this on the thumb and put this thing behind us. Stretching our backs, the back of our upper arm, which is the tricep, and pull for an 8 count. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, I mentioned a moment ago that we're looking for temperature. You got to warm yourself up a little. Get the blood flowing. You know, blood has healing qualities. And when you get it circulating throughout your entire body, you're preparing your body to stretch. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Wonderful. Here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to use this golf club as a brace for now. All right? And what we'll do is, if you're holding it with your left hand for balance, I'd like you to take your left foot and bring it up over this knee. All right, now that you've done that, you're already stretching a little bit, and you're going to feel this in the outer part of your left leg and the hip. We're going to sit down a little bit, stretching the glute, only as much as you can. Now, I'm going to go, I said that there are 3 T's in stretching, and they are temperature, tension, and time. Well, when it comes to tension, the amount that you want to feel is somewhere on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 would be excruciating pain, somewhere around a 3 or 4. That's when you're inviting in the stretch. That's when your body and you are working together. Okay, we're going to start to stretch. If you get much more above about 5 or 6, your body kicks in with a stretch reflex at which point your body's fighting against it. You don't want your body to fight against the stretch. You want your body to be in complete compliance. And somewhere around 3 or 4, you can work it in slowly. Sometimes it never seems fast enough to the individual, but that's where you're going to get the most gains, and also do it in a way that's going to be less likely to hurt you, to suddenly pull something. We want this to be something that adds to our health and adds to our well-being. Let's do the same thing. I've got my brace down. If you want to hold it on this end, you can do that. And then grab that foot. Put it right above the knee. Now, you're already stretching. You're fine. Stay there or squat a little bit. Now, if you're a member of my site, then you already know I'm talking about the Pro membership, the $9.95 membership monthly. That includes a 6-minute stretch, a 12-minute stretch, a 25-minute stretch, as well as 120 more videos that are between 40 minutes and an hour. And so you can do those for 5 a week for 6 months without ever repeating the same routine. And so there's lots on there for that. But the reason I mention this is because I recommend that if you're doing that, you take a little bit of time to stretch out and warm up beforehand. And the same goes 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower back. Let's have a lie down on our backs. The same goes with the Power Source series that's on the site. Let's go ahead and put this foot on top of this knee. Grab a hold of your right knee. Your right knee should be in the air with your left hand and separate it. Going to try and create space between the right knee and the right shoulder and breathe a breath of relaxation into your lower back and invite in the stretch. The Power Source series is a 20 video series that's on the site. And again, it comes with everything that comes with the membership site. I don't hold anything back. But that's a 20 video series. You do a different one each day and follow along with me just like you're doing here, where we take apart every single aspect of the golf swing that can be amplified, can be maximized for more leverage and more speed. And again, it's a follow along. We get in a certain number of reps each time. But I recommend you warm up and you stretch before you do that. Anything you do, if you take just a little bit of time to stretch first, is going to be of great benefit to you. It's like Abraham Lincoln said, if I had 8 hours to cut down a tree, I'd spend the first 6 hours sharpening the axe. And that speaks, I think, to a great degree about preparation. All right, we're going to do the other side. Left knee is up, right up there on the right. The knee is in the air, the sole of the other foot on the other knee. Put that right hand on there and let it drop. And that's an important step that so many people skip. Every single day that you don't stretch, you get older. And there's a certain amount of stretching that's required just to stay where you are. Well, we want to do better than that. The stretching is the only fountain of youth I know. You don't lose distance in large part because you lost your muscle. You lose distance because, you started losing flexibility. And you responded to it in most cases by trying to use more arms. And then the whole thing starts going downhill. But it all happens because you started feeling tight to begin with. And out of desperation, started employing less than sound mechanics. Mechanics that came from the upper body, the extremities, instead of from the core working out to the extremities. 4, 3, 2, and 1. But the bottom line with all of that is stretch, 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 stretch. Let's do a frog stretch. This will be the final one. And I know you're going to get a lot out of this Longer with Age series. If you've not been shifting your weight, go through them and take your time and decide that you're just going to develop a golf swing that involves a weight shift. And look at where you are. Video you tape yourself once in a while and freeze frame the moment of impact. And just look at your 2 feet. And if your weight is anything like 50-50, you know you're not shifting your weight. You need to not be satisfied until you look at that golf swing and see that 70 to 80, even 90% of your weight is on your left foot. It should be obvious to you if you just freeze frame the moment of impact and see where you are. Let's move this back and forth. Now, if you can spread your knees a little farther apart, then do so. There you go. A little bit at a time. And there is nothing that will add distance to your tee shots like finally getting that weight shift working for you. It's a big, big deal. Something that all the better players have. And as the handicap gets higher and as the tee shots get shorter, so does the weight shift become more and more deficient. I see it all day long. And so you are working through the correct program. I know it's going to help you. If I can do anything for you, that's our little stretch and warm-up routine. I recommend you go through it each and every time. I look forward to seeing you the next time. If I can do anything for you, you let me know.